11.2, Destroying Graphene Labs. Deputy Taylor and Katie moved swiftly to the rear of Graphene Labs building. They waited a few hours until there was no one visible in the parking lot in view of the door, to patrol and surveil the building themselves, its entry points and security. Graphene Labs was a busy place though. There seemed to be upwards of 500 employees milling in and out of the building. It was a very populous business, making it hard to find times when the doors were not being viewed. And there were security cameras everywhere. One camera looked straight at the rear door entrance, and others were looking straight at the corner building and all around. And there were cameras in the middle of the building floors, overlooking building outsides and parking lots. In other words, there were a lot of cameras, and I think they literally saw everything. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a phone SMS individual text message came in, and then it was followed up by a group MMS text from Sarah to Taylor and Katie, and I saw the MMS to everybody. That Muon Labs had been destroyed. Its cloud had been overwritten, its data center already blown up, and its building blown up. The flaming dagger of choice might be lost in its destruction, rubble and debris, and we're to accelerate and execute our plans right now, ASAP. Taylor looked and said, "That changes everything." Taylor added, "We no longer have time. We have to act now. We aren't going to get in without being noticed. Let's just walk in and use the badge. I'll handle anyone we encounter if they appear the least bit suspicious of us." It was simple. They wanted to walk in like they owned the place and handle any opposition. Yep, the plan was not going to be quiet and smooth as they had originally planned. Katie looked unhappy and said, "Okay, you call the shots. You're the muscle. I'm just doing what you tell me." Katie had seemed to resign herself to being a tool for God, and so she took orders from the perceived chain of command in God's army of the Knights Templar. It seemed to insulate her from the apparent need and problems violating the 10 Commandments. Often, Katie looked to Deputy Taylor, struggling to accept the need to blow everyone and everything up, and asked, "We really need to blow up the building and everyone inside now?" Her voice trailed, a bit trembling. "Everyone will die. Everyone inside when we blow things up. They will all die. Can't we wait until night like we planned? Give them some kind of warning? Pull a fire alarm?" Soldier Taylor sighed and exhaled deeply. "It wasn't supposed to go down like this. I'm sorry. But we have a mission. SHTF. It hit the fan. SHTF." Katie began to cry. She said, "Hundreds and hundreds of faces, all buried under rubble and stuff because of us. They may have had kids and spouses and friends, so much loss." Katie was bawling. Her tears were flowing. Taylor put her hand on her shoulder. "Look, Katie, I'll do it. You just make sure we upload that virus and don't get yourself killed. You can even stay here if you prefer." Katie pulled herself together. She asserted, "I'm strong. I can take it. I'll get the virus uploaded. I'm sorry. I'm sorry too. I'm sorry we're going to be mass murderers. May God have mercy on our souls. Pray with me that we are doing the right thing," she whimpered. Taylor commanded, "We must complete the mission. Soldier up, Katie." To inspire Katie, Taylor said herself, "Hooah!" Katie tearfully reciprocated her rehearsed "hooah." Soldier Taylor said, "Katie, I will place the explosives. They can be sensitive. I know how to handle them, and you're going to find the cloud server room and wipe the data. Right here, and wipe out the building's data too. You're going to be on your own. Take your pistol and your knife." She emphasized, "And use the pistol, Katie. You shot someone before. If you have to, you can do it again. Katie, it is important that you shoot the enemy before they shoot you. Or me." Katie meagerly replied, "Okay, what?" Taylor said, "Katie, take a full C4 multi-pack with detonators, just in case." They entered without notice or incident. People were running all over the place, abuzz with chatter about bombs and hundreds of dead at Muon Energy, and lots of talk of fear, and if they should go home, but that management says explosions are likely caused by natural gas only, so there's nothing to worry about, but be on alert, just in case. Katie asked, "If they were not worried about things here, we could wait for people to get out, before we blow things up, right? If they think it's natural gas." She sheepishly hoped. But Soldier Taylor answered, "No, Katie, we cannot risk everything. Things went sideways. We must deal with it." Through the chaos, Taylor traversed freely the Graphene Labs building and placed C4 explosives in critical building support locations. No one saw her, apparently. She faced zero opposition, no interference at all. Katie was headed towards where she thought the server and cloud data center terminals were, but she must have missed the door, or it was not where she thought it was supposed to be. Someone wandering the halls, though, saw her and approached. He asked, "Can I help you?" Katie smiled warmly and answered, "I'm looking for a server room. Can you point me in the right direction?" The man answered, "Oh, it's back the way you came. Turn left near the drink fountain. It's labeled DC. That's for data center. Here, let me just take you there." He walked with Katie down the hall to the DC room. He opened the door and greeted a room of 5 engineers inside. He turned and left. Katie was given directions to the server and cloud data center room. She had been escorted there. Amazing. But now she was there alone. And she said to the group, "I'm here to review your cloud data integrity. It's a quick diagnostic." The engineers looked at each other, clearly questioning the BS that Katie spouted out at them. Katie could see their growing doubt. She smiled and loosened her blouse a little bit, unfastening 2 buttons, and said, "It's hot up here in the server room, boys. It should be cooled more for all this equipment." Although the engineers were dubious of Katie, they did like how she looked and thought she did sound nice, and maybe she was legit. She did have a nice appearance and demeanor. She did not appear threatening. Katie used her veteran waitressing professional flirting skills to beguile and distract the room of engineers. As she flirted, she sat down at a terminal and slyly inserted her drive that contained the virus on a USB port. And she quickly accessed the program and initiated its execution. Like Muon Energy, hexadecimal DEAD, dead, overwrote everything in Graphene Labs' cloud and backups, and then it began writing all over the local area networks and computer data files. The data destruction would be swift, and Katie had to get out of that room of nerds before their own computers and cloud data began to be wiped right in front of them. Katie rose from her chair, leaving the terminal, and she said, "Well, that was quick. Thank you, boys. I'm all done." The chief nerd said, "Hey, what's your name? Are you a new hire or what?" Katie did not reply and just walked out of the room. She headed to leave the building, out through the back door they had entered. And she was out. She used her walkie-talkie watch to inform Taylor that she was free and clear of the building. Katie received an immediate reply over comms. I am also outside. I am outside too. Let's call Tiny. Within 10 minutes, they were back inside Tiny's van, along with Sarah and kidnapped employee Edward. Soldier Taylor held her cell phone in dramatic fashion in the air. She selected her speed dial contact list and chose her contact name, Boomer. Boomer. She typed, bye, and pressed send. Kaboom! Graphene Labs exploded at all corners and sides of its building. The upper floors collapsed down inwardly as an implosion onto its lower floors. The lower floors collapsed, plumes everywhere, dust, smoke. The building was utterly destroyed, and there were corpses, bodies everywhere, bloody carnage mixed through the building rubble. Violent and huge destruction. It was over. Muon Energy and Graphene Labs were no more. They were destroyed, with all their people dead with them.